and welcome to this episode of the Real Agents of Change, where we just love to celebrate and acknowledge and raise up any and all of those agents of change in the world who are making a difference. And today we are with Tiffany House. Tiffany is a very interesting agent of change. She has not been through our course yet, but she could actually teach big chunks of it. And when she found out about what we're doing here with the Real Agents of Change and Realty Gift Fund, she got really excited about it. And I'm going to let her tell her story about why that is. Tiffany, please feel free to introduce yourself and tell us what makes you an agent of change.
Well, thank you so much, Cammie. It's great to be here. And when I heard about what you were doing, I totally got lit up and even included some of the nonprofits that I work with in the conversation because I was that excited. So I am a financial advisor by trade, but I have converted to being a consultant for nonprofits, helping them fundraise, particularly with complicated asset gifts or planned giving. And I have run into so many organizations that have struggled with real estate gifts or have even turned donors away because they weren't ready to handle selling the real estate or figuring out how to accomplish it. And I'm here to empower nonprofits through funding, finding new funding models, and really allowing their donors to find their passion and create more impact. And most nonprofits love to get cash. And I say cash is for amateurs because our cash bucket is so small. But when we look at assets like real estate, that's where the majority of wealth is actually held. And people get held up with selling their real estate because they don't want to pay the taxes. They don't want to do another 1031 exchange. And especially now we're going to have some new taxes coming along, regardless of what party's in power right now. After COVID, we're going to need to get more funding. So taxes are going to be going up. And I love helping people divert their tax money to nonprofit organizations.
I love what you said about cash is for amateurs. We both, including your friend Brad, say that we worship at the altar of Dr. Russell James. Mm-hmm. And he talks about how cash is not king in fundraising. So thank you for bringing it to that next level. So you've already been talking to nonprofits about accepting non-cash assets, in our case, real estate. So what do you think you can do now that you actually have with our group that bridge that helps to bring your donor and your nonprofit together?
I see a huge window of opportunity. I think this couldn't have come to me, at least, or to the community at a better time. With what we're looking at with taxes coming up and being larger, nonprofits struggling to be able to fundraise. There's a lot of research out right now that their smaller donors aren't giving as much. And if they're not getting those small gifts, they need to look to find larger vehicles to be able to get assets or to be able to get more funding. So asset gifts of real estate is key. And what a great, I just see so much opportunity for nonprofits to be able to campaign and really go out and ask their donors about this. And I'm also a firm believer, I've said elsewhere, that with the new tax code coming in, with recovering from COVID and our deficit and all of that, that donors are going to start coming to their advisors and to their nonprofits, asking for ways that they can help with tax advantage gifts. And if people aren't learning about that, whether you're a financial advisor, a CPA, or an attorney, you're going to lose clientele because they're going to be coming to you to do some of these types of gifts. So real estate, even more so, because there's so much property owned and it is one of the largest areas of wealth. And I actually used to do a presentation on what a 1031 exchange won't do and talking about gifts of real estate. And it's needed. We needed something to make it simple. And what the Real Agents for Change and the Realty Gift Fund are up to, I just see it as revolutionary.
Amen. And I love what you said about how people are going to be coming to their advisor. The fact is, the majority of real estate agents, and our real agents of change, are from all different backgrounds. But when it comes to real estate, not so many realtors could be considered an advisor, especially not in this category. But just like Dr. Russell James said last week when I interviewed him, getting certified as a charitable real estate specialist does make you an advisor, and they need to know. I'm so excited that we've met because you bring up that whole other skill set of already knowing how to talk to the nonprofits and talk to them about, asking for larger gifts from their donors. Between the two of us, that $1 billion by 2025 is going to be a lot easier. I'm so glad to have you on the team. I'm assuming.
Yes, I am. Yeah, no, I love it. I am extremely excited about this. I see so much opportunity. And being a financial advisor for almost 20 years prior to being a consultant now on complicated gifts to nonprofits, I talk to financial advisors all the time about the importance of being more than just an advisor, to be able to retain their clients by talking to them about their charitable intent. Dr. Russell James will say you release oxytocin in your brain when you talk about your past and when you gift gifts to charity. And when financial advisors use charitable get their clients talking about the charities that they care about, the causes and their passions, they're getting their clients to release that oxytocin and enhancing their relationship. And this will allow them then to talk to the kids and the next generation. It provides for more referrals because now you've connected on a deeper level about what you're passionate about, what your clients are passionate about. So as far as for real estate agents, it's the same thing. If you want to be that trusted advisor that people come back and use every time they want to accomplish, and if you're going to be the one that they're going to refer to, talking to them about charitable gifts and being knowledgeable in this area will cause that to allow you to be a trusted advisor for your clients.
I love that you bring that up about the oxytocin because, this really takes us to another level. Everybody wants to ask me about charitable real estate. Who takes title? What if they have a mortgage? What's a bargain sale? Like, people get really bogged down in the weeds of the boring technical stuff. And I let them know, look, that's like 10% of what we're talking about, because once you take the certification class, that's a 3 to 4 hour live class full of information the average person has never heard and would never not if they weren't in the class. That's all well and good, but now that you know what it is and how a deal goes down, how do you actually bring one to the table? How do you actually leverage this in your business? And to be able to talk to people, get that oxytocin flowing, you're building that relationship. And in that moment when you say, wow, Tiffany, who else do you know that would want to hear this kind of information? Oh, my brother needs to hear it, and that guy at work. So in other words, you get introduced. I like to stay away from the word referral. Nobody wants to be referred, but we do want to be introduced. Wealthy people introduce, they don't refer. So I love that you bring that up. So talk to us about the nonprofits that you love to work with. Give us some examples of who you'd like to bring this to.
Well, honestly, I think any nonprofit can benefit from this type of service. I've always been a believer that planned giving or gifting of assets, it could be at the time of your passing or assets in life, that's considered planned giving. I think all nonprofits really need to look at planned giving and alternative ways to fundraise. I really believe, though, if you have been around for over 10 years and you have a significant steady budget, that if you're not dedicating some level of time and attention to talking to your donors about alternative ways to give, that you will be left behind because other organizations are going to be talking to those same donors about it. And so I really want to encourage all nonprofits to have the conversation, to have the tools in their belt, and know that when the conversation gets, like you were just talking about, when it gets a little complicated, that's when they bring in the professionals. That's when they bring in real agents of change to be able to help maneuver the actual sale of the real estate. And that's when they bring in people like me as a consultant, where I can come in and help the donor find the most efficient assets to give and the best ways to accomplish it. Bargain sales, as you just kind of talked about, have been so underutilized because it really takes somebody who's knowledgeable about real estate and able to have the kind of funding behind them to accomplish it. So I know ASU, Arizona State University here locally does it, and I'm friends with their real estate department, but I have never seen anybody else talking about that. And I really think that there's huge opportunity to be able to help people give to causes that they care about, teach philanthropy to their children, to their neighbors, to their loved ones, give them a tax break and take those taxes and give it to a nonprofit. And this is just going to be able to help streamline that whole process because we're pulling together the right advisors to be able to help in these situations.
Well, and just for anyone who's watching who doesn't know what a bargain sale is, and that would be 99.99999% of people, because I just learned about it this past year. But in a nutshell, if your donor wants to donate their property, and let's say it appraises at $1 million, and they say, you know what, we love your nonprofit, but we don't love you that much. We'd like to put little Billy in college and buy life insurance policies for all 5 of our kids. Like, if they want to pull $500,000 cash, that's right. The donor can pull cash out and give the nonprofit the rest. In other words, a bargain sale. And this is why, and you know, Tiffany, for them to know, this is why so many nonprofits have not been taking real estate. Because what if you are a nonprofit and you have a donor that wants to donate $1 million property, but they want to get $500,000 cash out? They're going to give you the rest of it after fees and commissions and all that. They want to give you $400,000, but you got to have $500,000 to give them for cash out of their property, and you just don't have that laying around. See, when you work with a third-party specialized nonprofit like Realty Gift Fund, our partners, we do that sort of thing. And that's why having you, Tiffany, out in the field, you already get it. You already know exactly what we're doing. You've been trying to get nonprofits to take real estate. And now any of the 1.3 million nonprofits can hire you to talk to their donors because now they can with no risk. And I say all the time, nonprofit, you don't even need to know the address of the property. That's how far removed you are. So you don't have to worry about any risk. It's all reward here. It truly is.
Well, I think that is absolutely genius to be able to provide a service and getting cash out of the property, doing a bargain sale. That's all wonderful and beautiful. But I've seen nonprofits in the past walk away from other real estate gifts because they didn't know how to sell it. Or let's say somebody leaves behind their house in their trust, and now it comes to the nonprofit and it's full of all of the stuff inside, and there's complication to it. And it really has caused a lot of nonprofits to just say, okay, you know what, let's not ask for let's be careful what we ask for. And they should be asking for it. And to know when you have knowledgeable, educated advisors in real estate that can work with you to help accomplish accepting these gifts, or just take like what Realty Gift Fund does, takes the real estate and then gives the net proceeds to the nonprofit and handles everything. It's seamless, it's beautiful, and it benefits everyone. It's a true win-win.
It really is. And I just want to give a shout out that Bruce Geis mentioned one day on one of our training calls, hey, you guys should find the local plan to giving roundtable. And then one of our real agents of change, Tamisa Leiden out in Arizona, she took him up on it. She found you and joined your group, and ended up having this beautiful conversation. And now here you and I are, and it's just this is how charitable real estate works. It's such an interesting conversation that it opens doors, it breaks down barriers, and it creates relationships where there were none. So that's how it works. Would you care to speak on Planned Giving Roundtable and whatever else you have on your mind there?
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, I was just thinking, Tamisa and I had that conversation less than a week and a half ago. So I'm past president of the Planned Giving Roundtable of Arizona, and I'm on the membership committee. And I was asked to reach out to her and welcome her for to be part of Planned Giving Roundtable, and I was interested, so I gave her a call. We had a fabulous conversation, and lo and behold, really great minds coming together. But that's how quick it happened, that connection. I'm not the only one who is a Planned Giving officer or a Planned Giving consultant or even professional advisor out there that wouldn't get really excited about this really quickly. So I think creating a relationship with your local Planned Giving, there's Planned Giving roundtables. The national is called CPG, Charitable Gift Planners. .com. They changed their name recently, so excuse my my hold back there. But there's organizations in LA, in Colorado, Minnesota that are thriving, and it's a great place to connect with people who already get the concept of gifts of real estate.
Amen. Amen. We were on our call last Friday. I started doing a little prayer dance. So awesome. Well, so as we bring our fun interview to a close, because you and I got plenty to talk about for years to come, tell us a little something about Tiffany that has nothing to do with your work or where you're from.
I'm a mother of 3 beautiful daughters, and I also have a hobby farm right in central Scottsdale. So we've got 3 horses, a pig named Hamlet, chickens, ducks. We've got 4 bunny rabbits, cats, hamster. We even decided to dig out a pond, and me and the kids all went out and dug out a pond. So it has a beach for the pig, and the ducks can go swimming in there. And we put some goldfish in there, and they're huge. So I love to be with nature and animals. That's always my fun spot to go.
Fun. Well, when I come out to Arizona, I know where I'm going to park Magic Mike, my RV, for at least a week. I'll go out there and I'll play in the mud with Hamlet and just get down with some nature. It sounds like fun to me.
Wonderful. I can't wait. Please come soon.
Well, you are just such a pleasure. You're so beautiful inside and out. And I just want to honor you for being a real agent of change. Long before I met you, and because of this relationship, all of the real agents of change that we are going to meet in the world together and make magic happen. So if you think that you're a real agent of change, whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're a nonprofit, whether you're a community leader, or you're one of those businesses or people that just loves to support and be a part of the solution and the contribution, reach out and let us know that you want to be a part of this movement. This is the secret real estate niche that is funding nonprofits by the billions. And now with help from people like Tiffany House, it's just billions and billions of dollars funding your nonprofits with help from other real agents of change. Thank you for being on the show, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.